Remember how we used to say, so we should just have a camera on us all the time? That's what we're doing! Good evening, sports fans, and welcome back to Week 6 of the 2022 NFL season of the Loop Power Rankings, brought to you by 36 Pitch Productions from the NoHo Arts District Studios in Southern California's beautiful San Fernando Valley. I'm Brian Bird.
And I'm Matt Vega.
It's been a wild week in NFL fantasy world. The Eagles are still undefeated. Fly, Eagles, fly. Matt Ryan and Tom Brady are refusing to ride off into the sunset, flesh falling off of their bones, and the Loop has a sole owner of the number one spot. So without further ado, let's make like the beloved, captivating, and captive clown orca, SeaWorld's very own Shamu, in an undersized, unsanitary pool, suspending its own majesty to perform Pavlovian enforced, uninspired choreography for hundreds upon hundreds of greasy, chicken-faced, unthankful human persons desperate to see another living thing suffer so they can feel some semblance of joy in an otherwise unforgiving carnal experience. I've lost the thread of this.
Number one again this week, the still undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Big Poppa Pump. Holla if you hear me. It's Clint and his Kuppets team after stopping the surging Kerryon Luggage in his tracks with a score of 136 to 124. Lamar struggled mightily on Sunday, Sunday's loss, but managed to put up a 19-point day. Lenny Fournette still chugging right along with 21, and Michael Pittman must have gotten into Matt Ryan's ear because he looked his way a lot, with Pittman recording 13 catches for 134 yards and 28 fantasy points.
Number 2, Hawk Blockers at 5-1. At number 2 is Mike and his Hawk Blockers after falling to the winless Jonathan Taylor Thomas by a score of 128 to 76. It was a very light-looking scoreboard after Week 6 with a lot of single-digit outputs from the blockers. Saquon Barkley, damn it, has the Giants' offense moving, putting up 18 points. Jefferson also came in with an 18-point game. And with Dak, that's a Dak Prescott, still sidelined, that's a Dak Prescott.
That's a Dak Prescott.
Starting QB Kirk Cousins did his very best, dern crackers, and contributed 17 points on the day on the way to Mike, setting the league low in points this week. Doesn't feel good ever to do that.
No.
Nobody needs that.
It's a fluke. He'll be back next
1
week.
week. Who cares?
Number 3 this week is Abbott's Kerryon Luggage team after falling to the juggernaut Kuppets, 136 to 124. Abed saw his 3-game winning streak come to an end despite some great efforts on his roster. Christian McCaffrey somehow manages to get points despite playing for the dumpster fire that is Carolina, bringing in 21 for the day, and Kelsey is back up to his old antics after a slow start to the season, putting up 20 points. His highest score was actually wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, whose 28 points on the bench would have given him the go-ahead points for the win and had him one spot higher in our beloved precious rankings.
This is the part of the show we like to call How Could One Have Known? How could one have known? We will return to this later in the listings. Also, Christian McCaffrey, come to the West Coast. Come to the West Coast.
Hey, he does that. I become a much bigger Christian McCaffrey fan. I would love to see him with some horns.
CNC Russian Factory. Number 4, Drake from State Farm. At 4-2, lingering in the top 5, bumping up 1 spot, might I add you, from State Farm. Drake, after defeating his own brother. God damn it.
Yeah.
108 to 94. A low-scoring affair here with Derrick Henry on the bye week, the world's most powerful man in the universe. Started Kenneth Walker III, who put a respectable 18-point day. You love that.
Love that.
When you make a substitution. Jalen Waddle showed up in Week 6 with 18 of his own. The rest of the squad mostly had single-digit efforts except for the old Captain Ketchup, Patrick McHines, who put up 31 points in his losing effort against the Bills. What a game that was.
What a game that was.
Shim Sharoo.
Speaking of that game, number 5, the Sixth Panther. At 4-2, tough week for the Sixth Panther this week as he fell to Smoke and Herb 141 to 116, yet managed to hold on to a top 5 spot. Josh Flying High Allen and Stephon Can't Stop, Won't Stop Diggs combined for 66 points in their win over KC, providing the sixth kitten with his only reliable players through 6 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Christian Kirk's hit pay dirt to reach double digits this week, and the Chargers D fell short in a defensive battle with the Broncos, but still provided 15 points.
I'm sorry, did you say a defensive battle with the Broncos? What was that?
It was just sloppy play. It wasn't a defensive battle. I'll give him the benefit of the
Christ,
doubt.
number 6, Smoking Herb at 3-3. Speaking of Smoking Herb, James's team moves up on to number 6 this week after his big win over my team. God damn it, James, well done. The Denver defense poured cold water on old Smoking Herb QB Justin Herbert, holding him to only 12 points on the day. Man, they're busted up.
Yeah.
The Chargers, it's too bad.
And they're still fighting, though.
They sure are. 3-3. It's not a bad place to be. Don't want to drop below 500. Breece Hall and Juju Smith-Schuster put up 23, 24, and 25 points respectively. And Tyreek, the streak, had a monster. The fastest man in the NFL had a monster 31-point game on 12 catches for 117 yards to help round out James's big day. Matt.
Number 7, the Virgin Murray at 3-3, all the way from the top rope. Sage came flying in week 6 to destroy Dane Amonche. 120-86, and save her season by staying at that 500 mark. It was a collective effort as no one other than Kyler Furious Toddler Murray had over 20 points. Actually, the only player on this starting roster to not get double-digit game was typically solid Tyler Conklin, who had seen his numbers suffer in consecutive weeks since Zach Wilson took over at quarterback for the football Jets of New York.
Number 8, Asher's Mama is winning at 3-3. The last of the 3-3 teams, Asher's Mama is winning, comes in at number 8 after narrowly defeating Pick Six Sucker, the Devil's Mark. The Horned won 106.5-95. A lot of single-digit efforts in this one. Tom Brady only brought in 16 points in the Bucs' big loss to Pittsburgh. And Zeke Elliott had 15 for week 6. But have no fear, as Jamar Chase strapped on his cape and introduced himself to the city of New Orleans to the tune of 7 catches for 132 yards, blow the tubas, and 2 touchdowns down Bourbon Street.
That's right.
Matt.
They came marching in, and he came chasing.
That's right.
Number 9, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. At 1-5, it happened, everybody. Scratching and clawing to make his way out of the cellar and breaking the longest losing streak in the league's history. Eric's Jonathan Taylor Thomas stood up in the face of adversity and slaughtered the Hawk Blockers 128-76 in the biggest upset in the league to date.
That's right.
Eric leapfrogs 3 other teams to lead the 1-5s. It was a lot of single-point outputs, but Mark Andrews came to play with a 25-point day against the Giants. Backup running back Deion Jackson, filled in nicely for the injured Jonathan Taylor Thomas. But it was QB Joe Burrow who put his stamp on this one and put his team over the top, finally coming in with a huge 45-point game against the Saints.
Finally, indeed, it is about time.
Hey,
it's about time
this
Joe
is what
Burrow
he did
came
last
out.
season, though. He just kind of middle of the road at it, and halfway through the year, just fucking turned it on. The Bengals made a run. So, watch out.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation happening. Teams' offenses are slower to gel because less starters are playing during the preseason.
Absolutely, and they got one less game to do it.
One less game to do it. Number 11, New Braunfels House of Pain.
Oh.
Play those bagpipes. New Braunfels House of Pain continues their descent down the ranking. Down to number 1. The toilet bowl is swirling. After falling to 1-5 after being defeated by Drake from State Farm. 108-94. It was a tough loss for New Braunfels as they neglected to replace their kicker Dan Carlson, who was on the bye, thus netting a 0 for the week. Debo Samuels and Chris Godwin got 15 points apiece, and Ramondre Stevenson has proven to be a bargain grab in the late rounds as he put up 24 points for the second week in a row after taking over lead back duties for the Patriots. Matt.
I am going to read number 10, as Brian just actually read 11.
What?
Right? Yep, you read 11.
I sure did.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
It's okay.
They were 11.
Back it up. Rewind. Editing.
Number 10.
Number 10, Pick Six Sucker at 1-5. It's been a tough season for Barry so far, and it got even tougher in week 6 as he lost to Asher's Mama, 106.5-95. Not much to write home about for this team in week 6. Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook have been keeping this team competitive, And in week 6, they continued that trend with 17 and 19 points respectively. Russ Wilson continues to disappoint. He's cooking just with the microwave. For the Broncos, as he only mustered 12 points versus the Chargers. And the other Wilson, Jeff, put up a goose egg after fumbling for the 49ers in the loss to the Falcons.
Jeff,
that fucking guy.
Number 12, Dane Almache, 1-5. We have a new rock bottom this week as Dane Almache falls to number 12 after being defeated by the Virgin Murray 120-86 and extending his losing streak to 4 weeks. It was a bye week for the Raiders, so it was all backups for Dane this week, and it showed in the box score. 5 starters came in under 10 points, and Dane turned to Geno Smith in the place of Carson Wentz. Hey, it's the pot, Colin. You're black.
Hey, I got a right arm. Put me in.
Yeah, could you bring in the piece of shit? Giving him 11 points instead of Carson's 1. Yikes. But it isn't just this week. Dane has the distinction of having the lowest point total this year with 570. It's unfortunate. Dane, we're pulling for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the matchup of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Week 7 matchup highlight is brought to you by 3M, the manufacturers of highlighter, making textbooks squeak since 1986. One half of the upcoming week's highlighted matchup is Sage Anderson's Virgin Murray, who most recently has come off a victory over Dane Almache, as aforementioned, 120-86. The performances from her big players were serviceable. Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders afforded her with 30 points accumulatively. Her stable of wide receivers, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, passed the 40-point hash. And her namesake, America's least favorite Ewok, Kyler Murray, punched in for 24 very serviceable points. She's going to need a little bit more for her team. This has left her at 3-3 and within striking distance of the much-coveted playoff platform, which is now top 6 teams. Pay attention. If we're asking James.
And his bottle of Tito's.
Okay.
So there could be
6. Is it 6? No, 4.
Kick? No, 4.
Kick? No, 4.
No,
Kick?
4.
Kick? No, 4. They have a shot. Well, to have a shot, she'll have to grab a win from the ailing, you guessed it, my very own Six Panthers. My Six Panthers who have been walking the tightrope every week and continue to hope that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs double dippiest enough to fill and cover the enormous hole left in my heart by the lack of running back production. With Elijah Mitchell still on the IL, the mediocrity of the Miami backfield, and Cam Akers sunning his balls somewhere out behind SoFi indefinitely, the Six Panther squad at 4-2 is taking on water and desperate for a life raft. We're fragile, people. We're a fragile bunch. I'm going to hope that the Lions bye week has returned Amon-Ra St. Brown to Clydesdale status, and Jared Goff will ride him like the mighty boy soldier Atreyu in valor through this next week with the help of some big days from Christian Kirk and Jerry Jeudy. Please, Jeudy, please find Russell Wilson. Help him. However, if Six Panther goes by the way of our tax consumed by the sage of sadness, both teams will be at 4-3, staring in the faces of more than half of the league, swimming in the third place stew, being tossed around in that playoff salad. This could shake the league up quite a bit and only proves that there's only parity, not just in the NFL, but in our beloved Loop Power Rankings. Matt.
And on to the forecast. This week, coming up matchups include Kerryon Luggage at 4-2 versus Drake from State Farm at 4-2 as well. Battle for the top 3. I just lost my screen.
Hurts on the bye week. There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey.
Yep.
That's
live television, folks.
There it is.
That's live taping. We got it.
Hurts on the bye week. Hollywood Brown is hurt, and both kickers are on the bye as well. We got Jonathan Taylor Thomas at 1-5 versus New Braunfels at 1-5. Battle at the bottom. Stafford and all the Rams are on the bye. JTT is a 50-point favorite considering Dave has Stafford and the Rams defense in his active roster.
That's right.
Smoke and Herb at 3-3 versus Pick Six Suck at 1-5. Minnesota D's on the bye week. James has James Cook and Dawson Knox not playing on the bye. Smoke and Herb is currently the 18-point favorite. Dane Almache, versus the Kuppets. Clint trying to stay undefeated. All Rams players are on the bye. And Singletary for Clint. That means his beloved Cooper Kupp. And Dane is currently still a 30-point underdog.
Good luck with that, Dane. You know we love and appreciate you. Hope that works out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
You didn't look at my browser history.
Week 6. Oh, you know I did. I left you a little something in your bookmarks. You cute little bastard, you. She teased me with a good time. Starting to sweat under this collar. You know what I mean? Pants getting a little tight. Thanks, folks, for joining us in this Week 6 of the 2022 NFL season of The Loop Power Rankings, brought to you by 36 Pitch Productions from the NoHo Arts District in Southern California's beautiful San Fernando Valley. I'm Brian Burge.
Still Matt Vega.
Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget to set your rosters.